Hello everyone, this is Xander Breach, and this is my weight loss journey part 17. Before I continue, may I remind you, watch the warning video, so that way there's no confusion and there's no comments about your kids watching the videos without your consent. So please watch the warning video before you watch this video, but if you have watched the warning video, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So, part 17. Oh, I do remember in the last part that my vacation was ending. You'll have to excuse me for a moment. I haven't done the parts in a while, so I need to do a quick recap. So, let's recap a little bit. Stepmom and adoptive dad come home, but they bring someone with them. That would be my adoptive nephew, who decided to take a little vacation to Texas. So, with that said, I had the responsibility for babysitting him. At this time, he was 5 years old. So you can imagine I had to be big brother role model. And back then, when it came to patience, considering I don't have kids, or I didn't have kids back then, I lacked it. So what I lacked was that, but you gotta understand, I don't have kids. So how am I supposed to know real patience? You know what I'm saying? But being a role model, I would soon learn I would have some ups and downs with that. So, on with the story. So he comes along and I have the assignment of playing babysitter with him. My adoptive grandfather would be watched over by my stepmom while I played babysitter with my nephew. So, with that said, playing the babysitter role, I had a lot to do. I had to make sure he was occupied, that he had something to do, and that he, wasn't bored. We played outside a lot. I taught him some things I learned as a kid, like catching grasshoppers. I builded Legos with him, and my stepmom spoiled him rotten because evidently she's his grandmother, so she got him a couple kids movies. We watched them. We watched Click together. We had a good time. And being a role model when he was misbehaving and he wasn't cleaning up his toys, I came up and I said, hey, when I was a kid, I had my toys taken away from me and I never saw them again. And my stepmom took that as word to the wise, looked at him and said, you want that to happen to you? And he honestly said no. It's just being a role model, you want to play teacher. Because in my case, being a role model and a parent is very different. And I don't know how it feels to be a parent, but from what I hear from other parents, it's a responsibility. You have to literally take care of a kid. Being a role model, on the other hand, you're basically playing teacher, like a big brother or a big sister. That is what I was doing. So he was staying with us for like a little over a month. And I have to say, I had fun. Even though living with my adoptive dad, I had my downs, of, getting in trouble, but I think for the most part, with him around, my adoptive nephew, it one kept me out of my adoptive dad's hair. Two, it gave me something productive to do. Three, I had fun, building his Lego sets, so he has something to play with. And four, all the better to learn to be a role model. So with those four things, and me doing what needs to be done to play babysitter, I can honestly say there was no problems with him being around. I mean, he had a really nice vacation, but the one thing I do recall, before he left, some other family members came into the mix. Now, may I remind you, these other family members that came into the mix, they would end up, how can I say this to be honest with you? They would end up making me feel worse than what my adoptive nephew made me feel. You see, with my adoptive nephew, we were doing a lot of boy stuff. Catching grasshoppers, freeing them. I think we spent a couple hours catching grasshoppers, throwing them in a can, enjoying Texas and the countryside. But with new people arriving, what I didn't know is playing babysitter was going to be a lot more harder, for one. Two, trouble was going to get worse. And three, I would soon want to leave the family. Like, I'm serious as a heart attack. I would soon want to leave the family. Because you get tired of dealing with people so much, it drives you insane. I mean, look at me. I drove myself insane way too many times dealing with my adoptive dad, but some new people who are about to live in Texas with us, this family, one of them was going to make a bigger obstacle for me than what my adoptive dad could ever give me. Yes, that's right. If you thought my adoptive dad was the only one in that family who gave me obstacles, sorry to say you were dead wrong. So, back to where I was at. When some of the other family members came along, I was now playing babysitter to two people, my adoptive nephew and another one of the family members, while the other family member that was there stayed in the house. So you can tell I had a bit of a challenge. So it winded down to the end of my adoptive nephew's stay with us, and that meant giving him his movies he got, packing his bag, because he was going to take a plane ride back to Florida. Before he left, I do recall he had a little black tooth. Honestly, I don't know how, living on the countryside, this kid could end up having a blackened tooth. He doesn't have it now. Thank you, God. But he ended up having a black tooth, and it made us realize, hopefully, that we need to let my adopted brother know what's going on. I didn't let him know. I think it was my stepmother who let him know that he had a blackened tooth. So the day came to say goodbye to him and deal with, what was to come. I said goodbye to him. I mean, playing babysitter with him was fun. There was no worries, no problems, no nothing. Maybe a few problems but not that much. But just when I thought everything was going good and I was about to have me a really nice time spending time with family, I gotta tell you, I was about to deal with a lot during the Thanksgiving and holiday season of 2006. And when I mean a lot, I mean over the top dealing with it. And keep this in mind as we get into the parts for the end of this first playlist, or should I say the first season. My life was about to take a turn for the worse. Lucky for me, though, I was about to learn a few things about this family. And what I was about to learn may not be good, but it was about to turn ugly. From getting in trouble after Thanksgiving to getting in trouble on Christmas and being blamed for something that was absolutely crazy on New Year's Eve. 3 things, 3 parts. My question to you is, are you ready for it? Because it's about to go down. And no, I'm not joking. This season's going to end with a bang. My question to you is, how do you feel about the intensity? And my question to you is, are you going to be able to handle it? Because this is what life is like when you're dealing with a family that's all about drama and all they want to do is make your life a living nightmare. Well, not really, but you get the blame. You're the one who has to deal with it. In my case, that was me. So, without further ado, I end part 17 by saying God bless you. Have a great day. For some of you, I was planning on doing a 2-part video deal. I decided not to, because the story played out nicely with a great ending. So, you guys have a great day, and God bless you.